Hello today. Welcome to the greatest year in music history, the only podcast about the greatest year in music history. I'm John.
And I'm Jen, and if you're new here, the year is 1997, and we're here to prove it's the greatest year in music history, one album at a time. So today we're talking about Nimrod by Green Day.
Yeah, let's get right into it. What's your history with the band?
Yeah, so I was trying to think of it again, and truly, I think just like most people in the US/world, it had to have been hearing Longview or Basket Case or, when I come around.
Yeah, I think for me, it had to have been the Basket Case video.
Yeah.
Because that was in 94.
Right.
So, we're 9.
9.
I hadn't really heard a lot of punk rock at age 9.
Right.
If you can believe it. And it was just so cool and edgy and different and loud,
right.
The
Ramones.
Right.
We'd probably heard them by the age of 9. But yeah, you're right.
I had that Misfits tattoo.
Oh, yes.
By 9.
That's a sick tattoo.
A full back of the Crimson Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For spooky season.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I think hearing Basket Case and the Dookie record.
Yep.
In 94.
Was the intro.
Yeah.
Same here. Same. It had to have been. But as far as Nimrod, I think Hitchin' a Ride was the first single.
Okay.
I think. But anyway, or maybe Good Riddance was, but...
No, I think you're right. I think it was Hitchin' a Ride.
Yeah.
That was first.
And I want to say that was probably my intro to this particular album.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess same. Because, again, this is early internet. There was no, pre-save on Spotify. Green Day has a new album coming out, just so you're aware.
Right.
It was only like you heard a new song and then the DJ...
Yep.
Or Tabitha Soren or whoever was like, oh, they have a new album coming out,
Yeah.
But I definitely bought the CD.
Yes, me too. I don't remember where, but I know I had it.
Yeah.
I can't remember where.
What was it called? Warehouse Music?
Yeah. Remember when we saw Newfound Glory the other day and they're doing a 20-year
That's true.
tour of Catalyst, which was 2004.
Right.
They were like, who bought this album at Best Buy? And I was like, me.
It's true. That probably is true.
So maybe I got Nimrod at Best Buy. Can't remember.
But yeah, I was really, really into it. That was sort of like, I always have this really soft spot for this record because around this time, I was kind of still fumbling around with a guitar, trying to teach myself how to play.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I don't know what it was, but with this album, it finally clicked how to play like power chords and how to kind of figure out notes and arrangements and stuff like that. Because you could go on the internet and you could print out
tabs.
Yeah, guitar tabs, and it's all numbers and math and like, we were 12,
right?
So it wasn't the easiest to figure out, but then when it finally clicked and it was like, oh, I know it, I get it now.
Wow.
I understand power chords and how to read this guitar music and everything like that.
What?
And it was for some reason just fumbling around listening to this album.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
And then from then on it was
easier.
Oh yeah, tons easier. And then I could buy guitar books like we talked about. I had the Dude Ranch book and
the $3 bill
the
book.
$3 bill y'all book, of course, as one does. And yeah.
Wow.
So I always have this really nice memory of like finally figuring out what the hell I was doing instead of just turning it up as loud as possible.
Yeah.
And playing into a void. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I have a soft spot too for this album and this band, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I'm saving it.
Stay tuned.
But so yeah, well, I wanted to, before I ask if it still rules, 18 songs.
18 songs.
So a few episodes ago, which if you're listening now, stop listening and go listen to episode 7.
Yes.
Where on 311, we talk about how many songs that album had, Transistor.
I think it was 21.
Oh, geez. Good night.
Something to that effect.
Okay, so we started a campaign on episode 7 during Transistor for Make America More Than 13 Songs Again.
Yes. I mean, make records more than 13 songs.
Yeah.
They don't have to just be American.
Right. So it I don't know. It just feels good. Same with TV shows.
Right.
Like, I want more than 6 episodes sometimes.
Sometimes.
Just not all the time, but sometimes.
Yeah.
And it also, 18 songs feels very punk rock.
Right, because they're all 2 minutes or less. Oh, not on this album, but
yeah,
most of the time.
They're usually less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's what I'm talking
Except
about.
for like 4 or 5 songs.
Right. And
that
those
are a little bit over 3.
Yeah.
The polar opposite of a Tool album.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get 6 if you're lucky, but the song's 2.5 hours. Or the album's 2.5 hours.
I'm still listening to Tool songs. Yeah. But so does it still rule?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this holds up so well. I mean, especially for me, because I kind of fell off after American Idiot.
Same.
I didn't really... I think it was probably the first one since Dookie that I don't think I even bought it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I just downloaded it.
Right.
And kind of wasn't for me. I don't know.
Yeah. Agree. American Idiot?
Yeah, but this one, I think this one was so cool just because it sort of bridged the gap between like straight up punk rock, their beginnings, you know, the Kerplunk, Dookie, etc., and also kind of shows what they were going to do with some of the little slower, more melodic songs like on Warning, which Warning I still actually like.
Yeah.
And then what they did on American Idiot, and then after that, something about September ending. I don't know. That's not for me. I don't think I've ever even heard that one.
I know. Same here. Truly, same here. I just fell off.
I was
after
good.
Warning.
That was good.
Yeah.
It was a warning that we were about to be done.
Yeah. No more Green Day fans. But I mean, but they do have a cult following. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, because they played.
They just went on tour the past few months, and it was ginormous baseball fields in the entire country.
Coors Field?
Yeah.
Here in town? Wow.
Mm-hmm. But throughout the country, some ginormous stadium in Chicago and LA and the Dodger Stadium and the White Sox and Red Sox. And
sure. All the Sox.
Huge.
Yeah. And they're, I don't know about selling out, but pretty close. And they're still really good live, I imagine. And I think because it was for the Dookie 30th anniversary, so I think they played a lot of the album. I remember seeing some stuff online of really cool, intricate backdrops
the stage.
The stage setup was
that
really
was
like
cool.
the Dookie album cover, which is a really cool illustration.
And weren't the Smashing Pumpkins opening for them?
Which is really strange.
That is wild.
But, what are you going to do?
Yeah. So, favorite song, lyric, or guitar part on this album? What would you say?
Well, obviously not Good Riddance. But anyway, no, I really like the harder edge songs like Platypus, Jinx, Take Back.
Dude, okay, what? So I have those written down on my little piece of paper in front of me.
Okay.
I wrote down like the most actual punk rock.
Yes.
Platypus, Jinx, Reject, and Take Back.
Yeah, I have Reject down, and then I like the Grouch. I don't know, that was just fun.
No, I do too.
Yeah.
But to me, so even though they play with a few genres a little bit, those 4, maybe 5, the Grouch, are really, truly like the most punk rock.
Oh, yeah.
To me.
Love it.
It's just fast. It's just...
And like the record production itself, like it just sounds so good.
Yeah.
How they're doubling the guitar and whatever, and it just sounds so full, and which is pretty intense for a trio.
I know. I was going to ask you, how on earth do they do that? They double the guitar?
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Oh, it
or
is?
you can do more than that.
And have
just a beefier, thicker, more full sound.
Do you think they add a guitarist, that like a ghost guitarist?
Yeah, sometimes you'll have it to where it'll be two different recordings.
Okay.
And those are doubled, and like sometimes some are like more in the center channel versus like the far out left and right. Wow. And that kind of can play with sound and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because this is I don't think they were using Logic Pro or Pro Tools back in 97, but I'm sure they were doing some things. I mean, it was a really huge mainstream major label record.
Definitely.
So there's a lot of extra production that goes into like the mastering that I have no understanding of.
Wow.
That makes it sound so good.
I know, because I was thinking the whole time listening to it, dang, this sounds like big and full.
Yeah.
For a 3-piece band.
Especially compared to their, I wouldn't say rival nor arch nemesis, but compared to Blink-182, a trio, doesn't have anywhere near as full of a sound, in my opinion.
Yeah. And Blink came after Green Day, right? Or were they
I think technically, but Green Day blew up first in 94.
True.
And Blink didn't really blow up till like crazy mainstream status really until 99. But Dude Ranch, they got that like bigger cult following.
Yeah.
Warped Tour headliner kind of vibe in the late 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So those are your favorite songs, the punk rock ones?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like especially just the really like, I call it like jangly, like just picking just really, really, really fast.
Okay.
And you let the chords kind of air out here and there or whatever, and they come in. But what about you as far as like lyric or
faves?
Yeah, all that stuff.
So I do love most of the singles. So Nice Guys Finish Last, Hitchin' a Ride. But one of my favorite Green Day songs ever.
Oh God, don't say it.
No, is Redundant.
Oh, okay.
I've loved that song so much ever since I heard it.
That's really cool. That one's very catchy.
It is. It's so catchy, right?
Yeah.
But I love Redundant. But I also love, after listening to this album again, I forgot about King for a Day and Prosthetic Head. Those are two of my faves, like, of the album for sure. But Nice Guys Finish Last and Hitchin' a Ride, they feel so classic. It feels like it could have been on Dookie to me.
Yes.
Maybe I'm wrong, but or maybe that's my opinion.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, and I kind of think stuff like that juxtaposed with Good Riddance and whatever, but other ones too, where like you can see like this is this pivotal point where they went from Dookie to Warning and everything after, you know. But yeah, the harder songs, like, again, it's crazy to think that stuff like that was the mainstream.
I know.
Back then, compared to now.
Bands aren't.
Or now bands don't exist.
No, it's singer, songwriter, solo, one person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too bad. But I still got to give them props. They're still selling out ball fields. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Which is great. So what about, do you think this, I already know the answer. Is this their best album?
No.
No.
No. No, Dookie's untouchable.
I know.
One thing I was thinking though, like where it stands with everything else, like I would put this as my second favorite.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think so.
The other stuff, Warning's really good. And then of course we're not talking about their the follow-up to Dookie that is okay. Well, it's better than okay, really.
I know.
what's it called?
Insomniac. Same.
But I think this, like, my favorite part about Nimrod is that it's not the follow-up to Dookie. So they were free.
It's true.
They had already released Insomniac, got out the, oh gosh, what are they going to do next? How could you possibly follow up an album like this? Mm-hmm. And then they could just write whatever they wanted because they didn't really have to have that burden.
That's a good point.
How do you follow it up? How do you follow it up?
Right. That's such a good point. Yeah, I love I loved Insomniac. My actual favorite Green Day song is Brain Stew / Jaded.
Yes.
Of all time. But Nimrod, like I said, it felt it felt like some of these songs could have been on Dookie.
Totally.
But we all know Dookie. Yeah. You can't touch
unimpeachable.
it. Mm-hmm.
I did read that Billy Joe said that he started writing all of these songs specifically on acoustic just to like see what would happen. Okay. And I wonder if that kind of led to, you know, you're writing song 1, 2, 3 and you're like, oh yeah, I can see this is a punk rock song. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna turn the distortion up to 11 and go to town. And some of the other ones that are slower, more melodic, wherever, sometimes there's some clean guitars, sometimes there's other instruments so kind of starting with that raw feel kind of opened the door. Yeah.
Did you go back? I remember we talked about while we were driving around town, that Last Ride In sounds a lot like a Bouncing Souls song.
Yes.
And the Bouncing Souls had an album that came out in 97.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what album it was for Bouncing Souls? Was it 97?
I think so. It might have just been self-titled.
Oh, interesting.
Or it could have been, or was it The Good, the Bad, and the Argyle? I'm not sure, which is just a fantastic title. I don't remember which came first.
I didn't either, but I found that interesting. It's so funny that some punk rock bands are like, well, maybe we could slow it down.
Yeah. Well, and I also like, I know it didn't come out until the next year, but I had a kind of this, would always listen to back to back between Nimrod and Offspring's Americana album, which that is not, half of it is like nowhere near punk rock. It's, you know, Pretty Fly for a White Guy and all that type of stuff.
Right.
But it has some other ones that you're like, oh wow, this could have been on something earlier like Smash or Ex Nay the Hombre or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it was just such a cool time that bands like Blink and Green Day and Offspring were so... Yeah. Well, those three were so huge and mainstream.
Yes.
And it's like because of those bands, I started digging deeper and got into, you know, the more underground at the time, you know.
Other bands.
Yeah, like Bouncing Souls and Pennywise and other bad like just seeing like, oh, they used to be on Fat Records. What else is on Fat Records? And going down that NoFX wormhole.
Yep.
Or Epitaph and going down the Bad Religion wormhole and Pennywise and all that stuff. And
or just Warped Tour compilation 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Definitely. Do you think it's a no skip album?
Not a chance. No, Good Riddance is terrible.
Okay, yeah.
I hated it.
Let's talk about it. There was a question later about was anything overplayed.
Oh, that's the textbook of overplayed.
Listen, Good Riddance to Good Riddance.
That's what I'm saying.
I wasn't planning to say that, I promise.
Yeah.
But there are maybe 3, maybe 4 overplayed songs, in my opinion, in my lifetime.
Go ahead.
And this is one of them.
Yeah.
I can name the other 3 though, because I already know them.
Well, yeah, it's for you. It's this, thankfully, and then it's Bittersweet Symphony.
Yep.
And then I don't know the other 2 for you.
Okay. Change in the House of Flies.
Oh yeah.
Deftones.
Your controversial hatred of change.
and Sex and Candy, Marcy's Playground. I can't listen to it.
Unbelievable.
I absolutely can't listen to it.
You can listen to Chumbawamba.
Yeah. Yes.
But you can but you won't listen to Marcy Playground.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. But anyway, Good Riddance is one of them.
Sure.
And so even when we were like listening to this album in the car or playing the music videos or listening, I literally cannot hear Good Riddance.
No. In the fact, the best part is that he does they leave it in the recording that he kind of flubs the opening guitar part.
Oh, right.
He plays a note and then he stops, which is so, now you hear it and it's so pretentious.
Yeah.
But it's great now because I hear 4 notes and then when he stops, I go, oh yeah. And then I hit the skip button.
Oh my God. It's so, I can't listen to it. Period.
No.
Even when I was looking up the music videos, I was like, oh, no. Mm-mm.
Because it's burned in my brain and it's not good. I mean, thankfully we were young enough to where this wasn't our a high school song or whatever.
Right.
I would argue Vitamin C might even be worse.
Well,
maybe not. I don't know.
I'd rather listen to Vitamin C Graduate than Good Riddance.
Wow.
Truly.
Wow. Okay. Same. Let's be honest. Same.
Yeah.
So at least we weren't hit with it that hard, but it was still just everywhere and not
every 3 minutes. I can't. Yeah.
No.
But I'd probably, there are a few others I'd probably skip just because they're the slower, folkier, meh.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a punk rock Green Day song. It just feels like they're experimenting. And I'm like, that's not why I'm here.
Right. Which is fine. I mean, it's interesting though, some of them that are kind of fit those descriptions. Some I can't really remember any off the top of my head, which probably says something, but nor did I write them down. But I do love the alchemy of when Green Day does go a little slower on the album in a minor key and with the instrumentation in Billy Joe's voice plus minor key.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why Redundant is so good.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The way that goes into the chorus, that is just perfect.
It is. Okay.
It really, that sweet spot.
I'll give it to you.
You can't, listeners, Jen has goosebumps on her right elbow.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I get it. But I
also really like the Redundant video.
Okay.
That was my favorite video of
let's talk about their music.
4.
Okay. Same. Let's talk about their music videos.
Well, okay. Yes.
I was rewatching Redundant and I love it. Okay. If you're listening to this, you pause it, go to YouTube and watch the Redundant video. It's pretty cool. First of all, I want to know how they do it. But it's basically it opens with they're in a house and a character in the background sees that the newspaper was thrown in the front window and she grabs it and then she walks off. And then you see that character go on repeat.
It loops.
And then they introduce a new character the very next, 10 seconds.
Right.
And then it repeatedly introduces a new character doing the same thing on a loop over and over again until about 2/3 of the way. Then they start taking away a character from where it started. Exactly. No, not where it started, but where it was introduced.
From the apex back down.
Right.
Yes.
But it's so cool.
Yeah.
I already love the song, and the video is even cooler.
I also love the video because the color palette is the same, or it's very reminiscent anyway of Basket Case video, but they're in a house instead of an asylum or whatever. But yeah, I think it's they're doing everyone is probably shot separately on like a green screen, and then they're just played in. But what's really cool is how the people are layered.
Yeah.
Because some of them will walk behind Billy Joe, but then they're in front of Mike, or they're behind Mike and then walk in front of Billy Joe, and like it kind of plays with your head a little bit.
Yep.
Plus the repetition of it. Yep. Some might say it's a little redundant, but that's fine.
Stop. Right now.
Okay. But it's just really well done. It's totally seamless, and like the camera never moves, so that really helps like sell the effects, I think.
Yep.
But it's just so cool, and then the song is really good.
Right. So I love the ending. Everyone, I'm not even going to give it away. Just go watch it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was so cool to rewatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I also loved the Nice Guys Finish Last video.
Yes. So I was watching it and I realized that I don't think I've ever seen it. Had you?
No.
No.
Definitely not. That was the last of the 4 singles. So
okay.
maybe it just didn't get as much. By then, Good Riddance, I'm sure, had taken over.
Yeah.
Like, if we're being honest.
Oh, that's true.
And other singles, I mean, it's like I already had the CD. I was just going to listen to the CD anyway.
Right.
You know? But that one's so cool because it's like this. It's like a parody of like an NFL Films. Yeah. And even the guy doing the narration, there's like a very distinct NFL Films narration voice.
Okay.
And he's doing like a dead-on impersonation. And it's like the coach is talking to the band before they go out, and when they do go out, like they're getting injured, and then they do this thing that's really cool where I feel like videos used to do this a lot, or now they're barely our videos, but I always liked when they would take a break during the video, a break in the song to like do something in the video.
Yeah.
So like midway through the song, it's like during the bridge, they drop the lyrics and they put the music lower, and they go off stage and go into the background, and the coach gives them like a pep talk. And then they go back out and finish the song. It's so fun.
I know. It's so good. It's as if a concert is a football game.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And they're like running down the thing, like players coming out onto the field.
Yeah. There's like cheerleaders, but they're on a stage and they're like cheering them on as they go on stage. And then Mike punts a water bottle into the crowd.
Yeah. And he like does a jump and like lands wrong.
Yeah.
And has to get like taped up and stuff.
They pretend that a tackle is somebody like jumping on stage and like tackling Billy Joe. Yeah.
It's so good.
I loved it. It was heartwarming.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check it out. And then Hitching a Ride.
That one was fine.
I know. I really liked it though. It felt like a Smashing Pumpkins Tonight.
It smells, yeah.
But it was still really cool.
Yeah, because they're walking on like a little treadmill and there's like
Prohibition,
stage effects.
1920s era. Yeah.
It's also reminiscent 12, 13 years later of the Modest Mouse Float On video.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of do the same thing where like it's not that there's effects, it's that there's like someone's holding something on a pole and acting like it's a bird flying, and then like the waves are moving and the band is playing.
Yeah.
Well, Green Day did it in 97.
Yep.
But yeah, Smashing Pumpkins did it before, but it doesn't really matter. That's fine. Then their Smashing Pumpkins video is just a base on a trip to the moon from the early 1900s. So
Silent Films.
They did that back then.
True. So, did you ever see them live?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about it.
It was unbelievable. It was 2002, and it was when they did a co-headlining tour with Blink-182.
Oh, okay. All right.
Everyone and then the opening band, I believe, was Jimmy World.
Oh my God.
And it was...
Good Lord. Where was I?
You weren't at the Verizon Wireless Amphitheater in Selma, Texas, that's for sure.
Dang.
R.I.P. I don't think it's there anymore.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, it was great. And I mean, I've always been a more of a fan of Blink, so I was glad that the night I saw them, Blink played last.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I was in the pit section up in the guardrail, so like it was still Green Day performing a full set. But it wasn't in '97. This was 5 years later, so probably on tour for Warning, because I think it was pre-American Idiot.
Yeah,
I know that American Idiot I think was '03.
Okay. What
about you?
So yeah, when I mentioned earlier that I have a soft spot for them, this was my first show ever. My first concert was Green Day. It was the Nimrod tour.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
For the longest time, I thought I was 16, or I thought I was 16 years old for my first concert. But no, my first concert was definitely Green Day. It was definitely Nimrod tour. I Googled it, and it was May 1st, 1998. So it wasn't 97, unfortunately.
Missed it by that much.
I know. But Nimrod came out in October, and then they toured for it in the spring of 98.
Right.
That's when I saw them. So yeah, my soft spot is that it was my first show ever. My dad took me and my sister. I was 13 years old. It was at a place called Texas Sky Festival Park.
But it wasn't a festival.
Which wasn't a festival. It was just the name of the venue. R.I.P.
To be fair, they named it well before festival culture took over.
That's true. Yeah. But it was in the middle of nowhere, South Texas. And I'm sure they called it that because the Texas sky, if it's really dark, you can see like every star. It's very...
I mean, the stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas. Yeah.
But I have a couple of vivid memories from that show. I'm 13 years old. I remember to get into the parking lot, it was first of all a dirt road into a dirt parking area. And again, middle of nowhere. And we're on this dirt road and we're just in a line of cars waiting to get into the parking area. And you're next to the venue, though. I don't know if you ever saw a show there.
No, I never went.
Okay. But we're next to the venue. It was to the right of the line of cars. And there's trailers. It looked like middle school trailers that
where you had social studies.
A classroom, truly. Yeah.
I took health class out there.
Yep. And we're just sitting at a dead stop waiting to get into the parking lot, and all of a sudden the window of one of the trailers opens and Trey Cool pops his head out with his green hair. Wow. And he starts waving to the line of cars, and I remember thinking, oh my God, there's Trey Cool. This is the coolest thing. And the whole line of cars opened their windows and we were all just waving back to him.
Wow.
It was awesome. But so we finally park. We get in. I remember Sam I Am open for them.
Oh my God. Okay.
And then they went on, and my dad...
Humble brag, but go on. Yes.
My dad took me and my sister, who was 12...
So jealous.
Into the pit.
As you do. Yeah, you have to.
For Green Day. And I'm 13. I remember we're just jumping around and like getting pushed around. And I remember holding on to my dad's shirt, like at his collar.
Okay.
He's wearing a t-shirt, but at his collar for dear life. I mean, like just choking him practically by the way I had it like wrapped. And I remember him turning to me and looking at me, and he's like, I'm going to need you to let go. Well, I thought I was going to die. I was like, these people are pushing me. They want to kill me.
Yes. They are all after you.
But it was just a mosh pit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, sorry, done. Okay. And I kind of like let loose a little bit. But then he was like, why don't we just get out of here?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was so good. And I was hooked. That was my first show.
Yeah.
And I looked at the set list.
Okay.
Good Riddance was the last song.
Oh, you beat the traffic. You get to leave.
I know. Yeah. But
Well, no one's moshing during that song.
no.
So at least it was a relaxing way out, probably.
Yeah, but it was so good. I think they open with Nice Guys Finish Last, like the album.
Oh my gosh.
I
Okay.
know.
That's cool. Yeah, I should go back and look at the set list for when I saw him. But I haven't seen him again.
No, me either. I know. We're not good Green Day fans, but that's okay.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We have those old school memories of it.
I know. The classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we get into ratings?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you got?
I'd say 85 out of 97.
Okay.
What about
Ouch.
you?
Ouch. Okay. I put it in at a 90.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause-
You like punk rock.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And well, you do too.
Yeah.
But okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I guess it's our last episode then. No. No, yeah, I gave it a 90. I mean, Good Riddance, so it's automatic, like 100-point deduction, but
I wonder how
everything
they
else-
feel about Good Riddance. Are they tired of playing it? I wonder.
I don't know.
Let me
I
call
mean,
Billy. Hold on.
There's I'm sure that I heard the story or saw like a video on it where someone said they were talking to Pharrell about like a song or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, you should write house music." And then the guy he was talking to was like, "I don't really do. I'm not like a DJ. Like, I don't understand." He goes, "No, not house music. I'm talking about music where you can buy a house with like the money.
Oh, okay.
That's house music." Good Riddance is how like your kids don't have to have student loans because
Nope.
you wrote Good Riddance
True.
and you have that money.
Yeah.
So I'm sure deep down you're like, "Oh, I love it. It's great."
Yeah.
But you probably hate playing it at this point. Maybe
Yeah.
not. I don't know.
I don't know. Good job.
20
Green
some
Day.
odd years later, sometimes you come back around. Like Radiohead never used to play Creep
Oh, that's
for
right.
the longest time. Now they play it. Well, they haven't toured in years, but
Right.
the last tours, I think it's back.
Right. You just gotta give in, accept it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like you should accept that Marcy Playgrounds has their one song was
no.
okay.
No. I'm
Okay.
not going to.
Well, I think that'll do it for this week. Thank you all for listening. Make sure to follow us on social. Search at Greatest Music Pod, all your favorite social platforms.
Yeah. And tell us your favorite memories and moments from this album. Did you ever see them live? What are your favorite songs? We want to hear from you. And give us a follow and a rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, all those.
And stay tuned for next week. We'll be covering Homework by Daft Punk.
Yeah.
I guess we have some homework to do.
Okay. All right.
Do you see what I did?
Okay.
Okay. See you next week.